Hello and welcome to another reading vlog. This is the start of the September reading vlog, and unfortunately I didn't end up finishing the 24-hour vlogs that I had wanted to in August. So we're back to doing our regularly scheduled weekly vlogs, and we're starting with a pretty romance heavy week. So I ended up pulling out of my series jar the Hot and Hammered series, the first one being Fix Her Up, which I read years and years ago and ended up loving it. This was a 5-star book and I just never ended up continuing the series, mainly because I've heard the other two aren't nearly as good as this one, and this one was my first spicy romance book that I loved. I think I gave this a 4.5 or 5 star, but I still very much loved it. And yeah, I've had a pretty rocky relationship with Tessa Bailey ever since. So the books that I have here are, it's a very Tessa Bailey heavy reading vlog this week. So obviously I have the next two books in that series, Love Her or Lose Her, which is the second book, and Tools of Engagement. But I also have It Happened One Summer by Tessa Bailey, and this one is not by Tessa Bailey, but it's blurbed by Tessa Bailey, and that is Maggie Moves On by Lucy Score. So those are mainly the 4 books that I'm going to end up reading this week. I was thinking about rereading Fix Her Up, but I don't really need to, and I want to make as much progress on my physical TBR as possible, and I think rereading something else isn't really going to give me that. And as much as I really do want to reread this book, I want to make more progress in getting my TBR as low as possible, because it's kind of starting to stress me out a little bit just between you and me. So I don't really know which one of these I'm going to start with, but I think like whatever I end up doing, like it's going to be like one book from the series and then one book that's not from the series, just to keep things like, just so I don't binge read a whole series, which like I could do, but usually I don't like to do. I feel like I burn myself out of those really quickly. Either way, I'm really excited for all of these. I'm in such a romance heavy mood right now, and normally by this time I would be like in the mood for fall, and I'm really not right now. I just want to read a bunch of romance. I think because I just read People We Meet on Vacation, and that ended up being a 5-star book, and I just literally fell in love with it. I know, not even the same author at all, but I just fell in love with that book so much that now I just want to read all the romance. So I'm really excited. I ended up getting a lot of romance on my September TBR. I just don't know where to start now.
Well, you start with one book, and then you move on to the next one.
Yeah, but should I start with this one?
Oh, you asking me live on air?
Or this one? Or this one? I mean, I wasn't really asking you. I was more asking the people, but you kind of walked in. So now you get to decide. I could read this one. Or this one.
No, I can do this just on title alone.
Maggie Moves On. It Happened One Summer.
I'm gonna go with this one.
Maggie?
Yeah, just because this stupid ass dog right here is like, It's like Tim Allen from Home Improvement.
Just the dog?
He's the ringmaster behind all this, because
Honey, it's a romance.
you're forced to move on when you're locked out of your own damn house. He took the keys and was like, he's like, idiots, now you gotta fuck. You can read that book.
I don't know. Is Lucy Score a spice author? Okay, well, apparently Benson wants us to start with the only non-Tessa Bailey book.
I thought you said testicle.
The only non-testicle book.
Lesbians, let's go.
No, I already read all those.
Fuck.
Okay, so we're gonna start with Maggie Moves On. So hopefully I'll be able to check in with you very, very soon. I don't know if I mentioned this, but I do have the next couple of days off because the kids have not, well, obviously it's a Labor Day weekend, and the kids don't technically start until Wednesday. So I do have a couple of days where even after I work, I shouldn't be so tired that like I won't read. So hopefully we'll start out September pretty well.
Merry Christmas.
I did end up getting this as in a blind date with a book type of thing, so this isn't one that I normally would have picked out for myself. So we'll see if this is like a good blind date with a book, or if once again blind dates kind of steer me wrong. Okay, it is a whole like 24 hours since I last spoke to you, and I am halfway through Maggie Moves On. I probably could have finished it yesterday, but I ended up getting pulled away to go hang out with my sister and my cousin. I ended up downloading the audiobook yesterday when I went out for a walk to get Benson and I a tea, and really I just sat down and played on my Switch. I played some Hell Pie, which is like you're basically in hell trying to create hellish dishes. It's an interesting and really gross game if that's what you're into. But Maggie Moves On basically follows Maggie Nichols, who is a YouTube star, and she is known for flipping houses. Basically, she buys a house that is in terrible condition and then makes it look brand new and perfect to sell. And she never settles in one place. She's been doing this for years. She has never found a place to call her home, and she doesn't really want to. It's something that kind of scares her. And then she takes on her biggest project yet, and she meets this guy named Silas, who is hell-bent on getting her to stay because he falls instantly in love with her. There's a little bit of insta-love in here. And some people, like, I feel like some people are going to read this and think he's really pushy, because he does come off a bit pushy. And like there's a scene in here where something happens where she ended up, getting hurt, and he gets like really mad and a little bit possessive that, she didn't call anybody. Like, he doesn't even care like that, she didn't call him necessarily. She cares that, or he cares that she didn't call anybody. So there's like little things like that where I could see how people wouldn't like this dynamic, but I actually kind of love it. Like, I love this book so much. I'm having such a good time with it. It's very rom-com-y. Obviously, we have the dog in here. His name is Kevin. He is definitely my favorite part, and for a good majority of the opening, it's just literally just a bunch of dog antics. It is very rom-com-y, very fun. There is some spice in here. Like, I didn't think this, like, just by looking at this, obviously a lot of books that have like these kind of illustrated covers don't come off as very spicy, but this one actually does have a decent amount of spice in it, and I'm very much enjoying it. I wasn't sure that I would. This might be, I don't know if it's necessarily a 5-star, but this might be one of the first blind dates with a book that I've actually had a success with. So ideally, I would like to finish this today while playing on my Switch some more, but I don't know what the plan is. We were supposed to hang out with some friends today, but I haven't gotten any word, any confirmation. So I don't really know what's happening. All I know is right now I'm gonna go take a shower. I might tidy up the room a little bit because I filmed yesterday and have books lying everywhere. I also have to figure out what we're doing for lunch, and then I'm on my own for dinner tonight, because if we do end up hanging out with friends today, Benson is leaving me to go play D&D, so I will have some time to read at least if the one friend doesn't get back to me. So I do have to go shower, figure out what's going on with that. Like I said, I would really like to finish this today and maybe play some more Hell Pie or something else. I am, first of all, it is the 5th of the month. It is Thursday, meaning I have tomorrow off, which is great in terms of reading, but I actually have a couple of really awesome reading updates in terms of I've actually finished 2 books. So I have finished Maggie Moves On. This is the one that I ended up talking to you about last time. And my point still stands where if you don't like insta-love, if you don't like a guy who's a little possessive but means well, like anything like that, you're probably not going to like this book because he does come off as very, very possessive. And, like, you know, his heart is in the right place, but he gets mad over things that, like, you would think he would get mad about if, like, this would further on down the line. You know, he seems to just, like, he's a very passionate person, and it kind of shows. And it's very, very insta-lovey, even if I use my usual argument of there's time skips, so it's not really insta-love because, you know, we don't actually get to see them falling in love because of all the time skips. But even with that argument, this whole thing still takes place in the span of 3 months. So a lot of things happen very, very quickly, especially the ending, which, like, I can't really give away without, like, I can't really tell you why this goes so quickly without going into spoiler territory. But if you don't like insta-love, if you don't like a possessive guy, I really wouldn't pick this up. But I did enjoy it. I ended up giving it a 4-star. I thought it was a very fun, cute, spicy rom-com that I was, you know, kind of looking forward to ending my summer on. And I thought it was a great time. I'm actually glad I read it. And I'm glad that I got this in the blind date with the book, even though this is something that I would not have picked up on my own. It does make me want to continue to pick up blind dates with a book. Of course, I feel like they're hit or miss for everybody, especially depending on where you get them from. I usually get them from a indie bookstore in Boston when we go. Pretty much anytime we end up on Newberry Street, we go to this bookstore, and they always do like little drawings for their descriptions. So they're like not really good drawings at all, but that's part of the charm of them, is that they're so funny and goofy, and you like really can't tell what the cover is supposed to be. So I've gotten some books that I really didn't care for, and I've had very few winners, but I'm glad that I did end up picking this up because I thought it was a very fun book to get into. And then I ended up starting, which you'll probably have seen a little bit of, Love Her or Lose Her by Tessa Bailey. This is the second book in the Hot and Hammered series, and I don't think I ever actually talked to you about this, but this one follows Rosie and Dominic from the first book. They are Georgie and Travis's friends. Dominic works with Travis, and they've been married, like they've been in a relationship since middle school, and they have been married for about 10 years. And, you know, things are kind of stagnant. They don't really like show love anymore. They don't like show affection the majority of the time. And Rosie's kind of sick of it. She wants, like, she misses her old relationship. She misses the person that she used to be. And so she decides to end it and she leaves. But Dominic isn't really for that. He does love his wife. He just has like a really hard way of showing that. And then she suggests couples therapy, which she never in a million years thinks he's going to go for. And she surprises him by saying yes. Or he surprises her by saying yes. And, you know, it kind of goes from there of them trying to rebuild their relationship. And I also thought that this was really fun. I gave this a 4-star too. I definitely didn't enjoy this as much as I did Fix Her Up. They're both still 4-star reads. Like, I thought I gave Fix Her Up 5 stars, but I think I ended up giving it like a 4.5 because the way that the ending worked out. I just didn't enjoy that. And we do get to see snippets of Georgie and Travis in this as well, so that was a nice little nod. I think it is really, really hard to write a book about like a second chance romance for a couple that's already in an existing relationship, because, you know, we don't, like, you have to work extra hard to make this romance believable, and this, you have to work really hard to make us like understand that there was chemistry before, there is a past, there is a history. And I think this did a decent job of it. I think it really delved into the struggles of any long-term relationship very, very well. And yeah, I just had a really fun time with it. There were a couple of up and down moments where, like, you thought things were getting fixed and then the next second, like, immediately something else was happening, where it just seemed like they were constantly on the rocks even when they should have, you know, gotten over it by now. So it was, obviously, I feel like some romance books do that, where it's like it's just constant after constant problem and it just almost seems like we're getting nowhere. Yeah, I did finish those two and I had a really good time with them. As for the other two, I did end up starting It Happened One Summer this morning, and I read like 3 pages of Tools of Engagement. So those are the other 2 books that I need to get to by the end of the week. Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all I really wanted to tell you. And I literally have no idea what I'm gonna do tonight. I think it's just gonna be a chill night in, as most of my nights are. I also have to figure out what I'm doing for dinner. Okay, so I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna figure out what dinner is going to be, and then I don't know what I'm doing from there. I kind of want to get some chores done around that. It's already almost 6 o'clock. I kind of want to get some chores done though, because if I can get some chores done today, then I won't have to do very much tomorrow. That would be really helpful. Oh, another bummer. We finished Claim to Fame, so our usual watch party nights for Benson and I are not existent tonight. So really, I have nothing to do in terms of like any date nights or anything. I really should start on some chores. I don't know. We'll see what I do. I don't really know what I want to do right now. It's like one of those things where I have so many things that I could do, but I don't really want to do any of them. Okay, next time I check in with you, I will have made some more progress in at least one of those 2 books. But I am very happy with my reading progress so far. And hopefully we'll end up getting some more bingo points this month, because that's always the goal, isn't it? had a very long day, but a very good day. I ended up going out for a long walk to a local park that I haven't been to in quite a while, but it was very nice. I sat down, I read a bit. On the walk there, I listened to my audio of It Happened One Summer and managed to finish it when I got back. And then, like, when I was sitting at the park, I was reading Tools of Engagement. So trying to get as much done today as I can. I'm happy to say I did finish It Happened One Summer, and I enjoyed this. I don't think I enjoyed this nearly as much as everybody else did when it came out. Like, it was very popular, very hyped. I still thought it was very, very fun, but I don't know if I ever explained what this is about, at least not in this video. This follows Piper, who is a spoiled brat, pretty much, and, you know, she's never really had a serious relationship. She's never really taken anything seriously, especially money. And one night she ends up getting dumped by her boyfriend, like her longest ever relationship of 3 weeks, and she ends up going a little wild and planning a whole party, which ends up getting her in trouble, to the point where her stepfather sends her to this coastal town where her biological father lived and ran a bar, to which he left to his 2 daughters, Piper and her sister Hannah. So he sends Piper there to kind of learn some responsibility and to settle down while, you know, the dust settles from this major publicity incident. And there Piper meets Brandon, and the two really don't get off very well right away. He automatically does not like her, sees her as a spoiled rich brat, which he kind of is. But, like, of course, you know, they get to know each other, they fall in love, yada yada yada. And it really makes Piper consider the life that she's been living and the life that she really wants with or without Brendan. I had a lot of fun with this. I did think it was a very fun, cute summery romance. I don't think I enjoyed that one nearly as much as I'm enjoying the Hot and Hammered series. Obviously, Fix Her Up is still my favorite, Tess Bailey. And then I'm enjoying the others in the series just as much. But with that being said, I think I'm gonna call this vlog here. I think this is where I'm going to end it. Tools of Engagement, I think, is going to roll over into next week because I have kind of a theme that it can fit into for next week. So if you want to see my full thoughts on that, check out next week's vlog. Okay, I think that's really all that I really needed to tell you today. So I really hope you enjoyed hanging out with me when I got the rest of my summer reading out of the way. I'm very excited to delve into the fall/spooky months hopefully very soon. I don't think there's anything else on my TBR that's gonna give me those vibes, at least this month. Anyway, I will see you the next time I see you, and I hope you have a great day.